stitching friends. I'm Amy. I'm the Globetrotting Stitcher, and I'm happy to be visiting with you again today. Today is Sunday, May the 16th, and can we just take a moment to reflect on how is it May, like mid-May already, because it was just Christmas. I don't know where the year is going. But I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you're enjoying your stitching. And for those of you that are doing Mania this year, I hope you are having an absolute blast. I know that I am really enjoying watching all of the update videos and seeing what folks are doing. And I think one of the things, in addition to just seeing all of the new starts that we tend to see a lot of in May for Mania, I really also enjoy the way that everyone kind of reinterprets Mania to work for them instead of just doing traditional. You know, some people still do the traditional, all the new starts, one new start every day. And then a lot of you are doing sort of these other methods of Mania that work well for you. And so I feel like it's a really exciting time of year for stitchers. And so it's just really fun to see what everybody's got going on and what folks are working on and to get inspired by that. So I hope that you guys are enjoying that as much as I am. Let's see. I think just a couple of things to share with you and updates. We had something really cool that happened in the last couple of weeks. Not stitching related at all, but I was just thinking about it and I was like, that'd be kind of fun to share. So I think most of you, I don't know that we've ever mentioned it on these videos, but in his youth, Gary served in the Navy for several years. He also served in the Army. But when he was in the Navy, he was on the USS Saginaw. Yeah. He was on the USS Saginaw. And so a couple of weeks ago, he was just watching this random documentary on Amazon about different military naval, countries, their navies around the world. Sorry, that was awkwardly said. Anyway, he was watching this documentary, and he watched the one about the U.S. Navy, and they were talking about whatever they were talking about, and then the next episode was about the Australian Navy, and he's told me a couple times in the past that the ship that he actually served on several years after he left the Navy, or after he had his honorable discharge, that ship ended up being sold to the Australian military, and they reworked it. What did they do?
We cut off the derrick arms, which you would use as think of it as a crane hoist lifting. It was used to do stuff. I without pictures.
Do stuff.
But yeah, they cut those off, but the silhouette was the ship. In Australia, and I think they're about to decommission it, or may already have. But it's the HMAS Cannonballa. So they bought that and another ship from us for about $60 million in the 90s, and they both served in the Australian military for some time.
Yeah, so he had told me that the Australians had bought our decommissioned ship and then put it back into service in their own fleet.
It was never decommissioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they bought it when we were done with it.
Oh, okay, I see. And so anyway, we're sitting there watching this documentary, and we're both stitching, and this ship comes across, and they start talking about the UAS or whatever it is.
HMAS.
The HMAS.
Cannonballa.
Yeah. So his ship that
Sorry if I got it wrong.
Apologies to the people of Australia if we mispronounced that.
Good on you, mate. Sorry.
So anyway, we're sitting here and we're watching this episode, and this ship, they are talking about this ship that's on the camera, and it turns out it's the very ship that Gary served on, but it's under the Australian military in this particular episode. And it was just so cool for me because I've heard stories all these years about the ship that he served on. And he's shown me video clips or footage of ships that were of a similar class, but weren't his ship. But for me, I just found it really exciting to see that was actually the ship that he worked on and lived on during his years in the Navy when he was at sea. So that was just kind of a cool thing that happened. And a big hello to all of our friends in Australia. So anyway, that was kind of cool. I think another thing that we're both really excited about in the last couple of weeks, just this last week, Gary and I were able to get our second dose of vaccine. And so we are now fully vaccinated and feeling very thankful for that. We're not, the coverage isn't, we're like not fully covered and protected for I think another week yet. But for me, it's really reassuring that we both kind of have been able to take that step. And I actually just last night had the chance to get together with a couple of girlfriends, one or two of whom I haven't actually seen in person since before the pandemic started. And it was such a joy to actually go and be able to hug people and, just be like, oh my God, you're here in person. I can touch you. And that was a real joy. And so it was just a real delight to see all of those ladies. Just to start talking about plans and getting together and seeing each other and spending time together this summer. And so really feeling thankful for that. And, I've been sharing with friends and colleagues. We've been very fortunate here in the U.S. in the last couple of months that vaccines have become pretty broadly available. And I think at this point, most anybody who wants to get a vaccine, as long as you're within, I think it's 12 and above at this point, you're able to get one if you want one. But it's never far from my mind, especially because I have friends and colleagues who live in India and who are being very negatively affected and who have been ill. But I'm keenly aware that that access is not broadly available in much of the world right now. And so, I feel very much the inequity of that. But at the same time, also grateful. And so for those of you that are in places in the world where you're not able to get vaccinated yet because it's not readily available, know that we haven't forgotten you. You're in our thoughts, and we are hoping that that things improve and that you're able to have that same level of protection and safety very, very soon. So let's see. I think one or two other things. Wanted to note, by the time this episode actually airs, this will, I think, actually be our official 1-year Flosstube anniversary episode. It should be going up on YouTube right around the time that we posted our very first Flosstube episode, and I cannot quite believe that it has been a year that we've been doing these. It's just been such a fun adventure, and I think both Gary and I would say one of the best things about it has been all of the wonderful people that we've been able to connect with, all of the friends that we have made. And we really are so, so grateful for all of you that come and spend time with us every couple of weeks, for all of you that leave comments and the thumbs up and just the support that's out there and the kindness of this community. One of the other really great things I'm looking forward to as things in the US at least are starting to open back up is I'm hearing more and more about retreats that are actually going to happen, and they're going to be real in-person retreats and not virtual retreats. And although I don't have anything booked at this point, I've been kind of talking to Gary for a while about we really ought to go to a couple of retreats and have the chance to meet some of the folks that are out there in person. And so really looking forward to that opportunity over the next, several months in the next year as those are happening. One last thing before we get into the stitching, I just wanted to make a note. We had some really sad news within the last couple of weeks, and shortly after we filmed our last update, I got word that one of the ladies in our local stitching group, so we're really fortunate in the area that Gary and I live, there's a pretty solid contingent of stitchers. And before the pandemic, there was a pretty good sized group of us that were meeting every week and just really forming close bonds and really enjoying spending time together. And there was a lady that had joined the group a couple of months before the pandemic started, and her name was Pauline. And Pauline was just a real treasure. She was incredibly sweet spirit. She was just a real joy to have in the group. And unfortunately, she passed away a couple of weeks ago. And we didn't know that she had been ill. I hadn't been in touch with her for a bit because I haven't been able to be as active in some of the Zoom meetups that have happened. But yeah, I think it took all of us a bit by surprise. And it's been a really hard hit, and I know I've really been feeling it, and others in the group have been feeling it. And as we start looking ahead toward being able to meet in person again, I feel a great deal of sadness because I know that Pauline isn't going to be there with us anymore. So just, Pauline, you're going to be missed. We really loved you and cared about you, and you were a joy to spend time with. So with that being said, let's talk about some happy things. So Gary and I have had a really busy couple of weeks, just both in life and in stitching. But I think good productivity on the stitching side of things, all things considered, and we both had finishes. So we will start with Gary's finish. Gary, as all of you know, has been working on No by Happy Sloth Cross Stitch Patterns, also fondly known as Batman Slap. And he's been stitching this on a piece of 16 count Riviera Coral Aida. And the last time that we shared an update with you, he was getting pretty close to a finish, and we were anticipating he would be done by the time that we filmed this update. And sure enough, he is all finished. And so, without further ado, here is his finish on, let's see.
Yeah, there you go.
How's that?
That's better.
Perfect.
Gilroy.
Here's his finish on No by Happy Sloth Cross Stitch Patterns. I think it turned out fantastic. I really, really love this. I think he did a really great job. The colors are great. It's such a bright and fun design. Do you have anything you want to say, Mr.?
Oh, it's finished.
It's been
Yeah. Yeah, we got
deep thoughts with Gary.
Yeah, we got to get that baby framed.
Yeah, so we are gonna make a trip. We did try and take a look at frames at Walmart and really didn't find anything that was speaking to us. So I think we're gonna maybe go to Michael's and in the next week or two and see if we can't find a frame that we really like for this design and get this all finished up and ready to get on display.
Well, real quick, we didn't put a caption in because there's really no room for it. There just wouldn't be enough room for it to really stand out.
Yeah.
So this way, it's just up to your imagination. You can be saying no to whatever you want. No cookies, right? That sort of thing. Stop saying holy whatever.
That's hilarious. All right, there we go. Okay. And then, as we mentioned, I also had a finish. This was a very late-breaking finish for me. And I finished Hello Fall by... Oh, gosh, that was loud. Hello Fall by the Scarlet House.
Right near the mic.
Yes, it was. I'm sorry. So I am stitching this. I was stitching this on a 35 count Irish cream linen by R&R Reproductions, and this has been my seasonal design. The last time you saw it, this was a brand new start for me, and I was telling you that I actually thought, because it's as far as the actual size and stitch count, it's relatively small. And so I kind of had anticipated, I'll blow through this really quickly. I'll get it done in a week. This will be a quick one. It was a quick one, but it was not as quick as I thought it would be. The bottom 2/3 of the design is essentially full coverage. It's easy stitching. It's just large blocks of color, but it's really, really dense stitching. And so it ended up taking me almost 2 weeks. And I only finished it in time for this update because I stayed up a little bit late last night and I was like, I'm getting it done. So here's my finish on Hello Fall. Actually, let me pull this up really quickly because this is what the original design is charted as. So you can see it's blacks, grays, creams, and yellow. And while I think it's beautiful and I really liked it, I wanted to go with a little bit more of the traditional autumn tones. And so I did do a DMC conversion. I think we shared that in the last update, and we'll find a way to share it. I'll put it in the description box below. And I like it. I think it's really fun. It makes me think of Argyle socks. And yeah, I think it's really, really cute. And it's an easy stitch. I think anyone out there who's looking for something that's a really great, easy stitch for a brand new stitcher, this would be a fantastic option. So I am really pleased with how it turned out. I'm going to turn it into a pillow here sometime in the next couple of weeks. I've got I've been kind of holding off till I had a couple more pieces ready to turn into pillows so I can do a big day of sewing and pillow making. And so this will be one of the pieces that will be in that set. So that is my finish in my seasonal design category. All right. Let's see here. So that's it for finishes. And let's go ahead and share updates on our whips with you. So for me, the first whip that I have to share with you is in my Fancy Lady section of my rotation. This piece is Royal Holiday by Mirabilia, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Laurel linen with all the called for flosses. And it's all DMC and not Petite Treasure Braid, the other one, the one that nobody likes to work with. Anyway, regardless, I can't remember the name of it right now. Anyway, this piece, I gotta be honest, I really rode the struggle bus this last time when I worked on it. So when you saw it the last time, I had finished the, I had just gotten through the first of the first one or two diagonals after finishing the little candle, the candle arrangement that she's holding in her hands. I don't know why that word was so hard to come up with. And I had worked in like the cloak that she's wearing and had gotten down a little bit into her skirt. And so, it was looking really good. It's still looking really good. But when I was working on it this time, and I'll go ahead and pull it up and show you where it is right now. As I was working on this time, I was really finding that my motivation to stitch was really, really low. And to be, in all fairness, this what I did finish was essentially, I think, the longest diagonal in the entire piece. And so I think they will start getting a little bit smaller from here and we'll go a little bit more quickly. But for some reason, I just felt like it was just a bit of a slog to get through it. And in an entire week of stitching, I finished just over one diagonal of this design. So I did work my way down, I did do a section of the cloak up here, worked my way, did a little bit more of this this in here, got this chunk of her glove done, and then this section of her skirt, and got down into the part of her cloak that's down here at the bottom of her skirt. I really love this. I'm not putting it aside, or I haven't lost any of the love I have for it. I just didn't enjoy working on it as much this last time. And I think that, I think part of that is just feeling like I'm moving really slowly on it, but also just things are busy and I wasn't getting much time on it, which kind of adds to that. So I think she's beautiful. I'm looking forward to working on her again, but I'm looking forward to feeling like I'm getting down further. I think one of the other things that was a bit of a demotivator in working on this was I tried a couple of different things to get the bottom half of the chart into Pattern Keeper, and I was able to get a really great PDF image to upload to Pattern Keeper, but for some reason, once I actually got the grid lines in place, I couldn't mark anything off, which it was very, very strange. And by the way, I wanted to say a quick thank you to Cassie from Cassie Jo Stitches, because she watched the recent video where I talked about this, and I mentioned that she had managed to really get a really good upload for the Mirabilia she was working on in Pattern Keeper. And so she had some really great tips. So thank you so much, Cassie. I really appreciate those. Unfortunately for me, I don't know if it was the app that I used to take the PDF image, but Pattern Keeper was not getting along with it. And so I ended up just forging ahead with the paper chart on the bottom half. But fiddling around with that, I think, also really kind of demotivated me on progressing on this. So we'll see how we go next time. Still love it. And, I think we all go through seasons like that with the pieces that we work on. But this is where we are right now on Royal Holiday. And then the last whip that I have to show you today, I had actually thought was going to be a finish, and it wasn't. And that is my seasonal stitching, which is Seasons Spring by Leela's Studio. It's not seasonal stitching, it's my travel stitching. Seasons Spring by Leela's. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I am stitching it on a 32 count French Vanilla Swirl Wexford Linen by Silkweaver. And like I said, I had thought it was going to be a finish. And when I show this to you guys, it's really close to being a finish. but it's just not quite there yet. So the last time you saw it, I had made a really good start on the border. I was pretty well finished with the wagon and the floral motifs in the center, and I didn't have a whole lot to go. And so this time I did make good progress. I'm so close to a finish. This is where we are right now. Ooh, I'm just gonna move that. All right, so this is where we are right now. So I did completely finish off that bottom border. I finished the word spring. I got these 2 eggs stitched in and got the leaves and flowers stitched in here. I also stitched in the majority of that beautiful teal bird. So literally all I have left is like 5 stitches of yellow to wrap up the wing. I need to fill in the rest of the teal in the bird's head and stitch the little blue quilt star, and that is it. It's maybe an hour to 90 minutes of stitching at most, and this will be done. So I'm expecting to get a finish on this over the next week. I just couldn't quite cross the finish line with it this time, but I really love it. The more I have worked on it, the more I've enjoyed it. The colors are so pretty. And once this is finished, this will be kind of the 3rd pillow finish that I'll have that's ready to be actually made up into a pillow. So I'm hoping to take some time, maybe if I can, I need to make a trip down to Acorns and Threads. I want to pick up some trims, some of the Lady Dot Creates trim, but I want to actually match the colors before, I don't want to just match them online. But if I can get down there and pick up what I need, maybe I can find some time to do a couple pillow finishes over Memorial Day weekend. And so hopefully you guys will get to see those soon. But at any rate, this is where I am on this, and I really do love it. Okay, so the next thing we have to share with you is Gary's new start. Because he had his finish, he is starting a design by Hannah's Needlecraft, which is the same designer. This is actually a part of the same series that is my wild card stitching, which is Bush Market. And the design that Gary is stitching is called To Market. He is stitching this on 16 count beautiful beige Aida. And here's his start.
So there's a reason I'm doing this. I wanted everybody to be in on the ground floor. You can now see that there is absolutely nothing on that. And the next time you see it, there will absolutely be something on it. So really, there's no illusions here. We actually do the work.
We do the work.
It was kind of difficult to get the fabric taut, but it's taut now.
It's ready to go.
It's good.
It was funny. I was telling my girlfriends when I saw them last night that Gary was going to be starting this, and I said, "Well, he finished his Batman piece," and I said, "And he keeps saying he's going to start his next piece," and I said, "It's in the frame, but it's not started yet." But that's just the way it goes.
I have other hobbies.
He has other hobbies, and but I'm confident you will see stitches in this the next time.
At least 2.
At least 2.
It'll be a good start.
Well, in this particular design, it's a really cute
there's
design.
Nothing on there. You can put it down. They can't see the design you're referencing.
Thank you.
I'll fix that.
Just CGI something in there.
Yeah,
Cute cats or something.
This particular design.
This design is it's called To Market, and it's a bunch of people walking on their way to the market with the various things they have to sell.
It's an iPhone sale.
No, there's no iPhones. It's like fruit and potatoes. But it's like children and adults and people of varying heights. And so one of the things that Gary and I need to do is sit down and actually figure out what's the best place to start within the chart so he can kind of start there. Okay, so let's wrap up really quickly by telling you what I'm going to be working on, or what we're going to be working on between now and the next video. You will have already heard that Gary is going to actually put his first stitches in on To Market.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I am also going to spend a day, since I got that finish, on my my seasonal stitching with Hello Fall. I'm going to spend the rest of today working on Bush Market and put in a day on that. That's my wild card stitching, also by Hannah's Needlecraft. This next week, I am going to spend some time working on Rose Trellis In again. And so we'll see. I think I should be able to get all the way across the top of the second row of pages. And so we'll just see how far along I get with that. And then I'm going to spend a week working on my sampler, which is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. As I already mentioned, I'm going to be pushing for that finish on Seasons Spring by Leela's Studio. And so I expect the next time we update you, I will have a new start in my travel category, and that will be Seasons Autumn, also by Leela's Studio. And so I'm really looking forward to getting started on this one. I think it's adorable. And I think that kind of does it for us. So we hope that you guys are doing well and staying safe. As always, if you enjoy this video, we hope you'll give us a thumbs up so that we are... Oh, sorry, Gary has something to say.
Yeah, one of the consistent... I'll put my face up for this, but one of the consistent things we get is the voice from beyond is okay, but I think some folks would like to see my face. And really, to address that, I'd have to be on camera as much and as active as Amy is. So I won't actually ever be on set with her. But I'm going to take another camera and aim it at my face for the next video. And we'll see how that goes, so that when I'm talking, you'll be able to see my face.
His beautiful mug.
Yeah, it'll probably appear somewhere over there where the action figures typically do. And it may be floating. My eyes may glow. I don't know. But we're going to address that. But in a way that works for everyone. Anyway, we got 2 minutes left.
As many people as possible.
Yeah, let's get this done.
So, if you are looking forward to seeing Gary's floating head suspended in space and glowing, we hope you'll give us a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed already, you don't want to miss that, so please do subscribe.
I gotta learn how to glow.
If you'd like to have a notification when the glowing head video goes up, hit that little bell in the corner and YouTube will let you know when that video is up and ready to see. As always, we enjoy your comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to just say a quick hello to us or share what's going on with you. We really, really do appreciate and enjoy that. And you can follow me on Instagram between videos at I'm at globetrotting_Stitcher. Or you can send me an email at globetrottingstitcher@gmail.com. A few folks will send me updates on the projects they're working on and share pictures. And I can't tell you how much I really, really enjoy seeing what you all are working on. It does really make it feel like it's more of a two-way conversation. So really do enjoy that. So until we see you again, stay well and safe. And right. Hey, Bear had to have his jingles.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay well and safe. We will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.